Where do I go when there's no one else to turn to? Where do I run to when no one wants to listen? Who do I lean on when there's no foundation stable? I go to the rock.
I went to about 5 big conferences before, but it's not anything like this.
This workshop, as of last June, has totally changed my outlook on life.
There is hope. You can be freed from that, and through the course of the week you will hear ways in which God longs to free you.
This conference this weekend told me there's hope, and a lot of tears were let, and I let some go myself. I walked out of here last night. Felt so light, as a big load was taken off me.
So what is Rising Above? And it's a ministry that deals head-on with the issues of abuse. That we don't shy away, we don't back off, we come and just head-on, we talk about very, very difficult topics, very difficult issues of abuse. A very good friend of mine by the name of Vincent, yellow old woman from the Blackfoot tribe there in Calgary, called me one day with a burden that he had in his own heart and in what he was experiencing in his own personal life and in his ministry as he was traveling to communities and churches. And he began to pour his heart out to me over the phone and to talk with me about a lot of the things that he was facing, namely the issues of abuse. And I remember his call and how helpless he felt, and how ill-equipped he felt to deal with these issues. I look back at that phone call as a God thing because about exactly the same time there were things happening in my own life already for a couple of years. And then also I was experiencing things in my own work and in my own ministry, in our own church, in our community. A lot of these things were really surfacing, and I also felt the same way. I wasn't really equipped to deal with a lot of these issues. And abuse continues to be a significant problem among our First Nations people. And abuse and its effects causes all kinds of problems. It destabilizes the individual and it destabilizes the family and the community and even ultimately our culture. And ignoring and denying won't make it go away, or it won't keep it from affecting us.
So many of us, including myself, come in here saying, well, we're okay.
Some of us might seem like we have it all together, that we have a good relationship with the Lord, and that we've never experienced hurts. And yet, all of us, it seems, that have been put here on this earth have issues.
There was no Aboriginal Christian voice out there to actually talk about these issues. And so as we talked and as we prayed and as we wept together about the devastation that we saw in our communities, we felt very strongly that God was calling us to deal with these issues, and to deal with these issues from a biblical viewpoint also. Because we really believe that we could, with God's help, rise above all the things that we have gone through as Aboriginal people, as First Nations people. And it's only Jesus Christ that offers true and lasting healing. We really felt like there was no other option but to take on what God was calling us to do, and that we needed to speak out against these issues that were so prevalent in our communities, and that we needed to stand up for the little boys and the little girls who were hurting. Many of them now had grown up into adulthood, and we were included in that group, many of us, and were hurting, and we couldn't seem to function in our lives. And even after we become Christians, many of us still struggled with these issues. They were still hanging on to us and affecting our lives and even our Christian lives. And so, back in 1992, we decided to have a conference. We really believe that the best people to help our people is us. We as First Nations people. You'll notice that in the band, you'll see Terry and Brenda and Rick up here, and you'll notice Joanna will be sharing with us tomorrow morning. They're non-native, but we really embrace these people. We we endorse, we actually totally welcome them to the ministry of Rising Above because they believe in what we're doing, and they also have a real heart for the ministry of Rising Above, that they have a heart for our First Nations people. So Rising Above is indigenous. It was initiated and continues to be governed by us as Aboriginal leaders.
There's many agencies throughout our land in the north offering suicide workshops. Psychologists, sociologists, and doctors, researchers, a lot of funding goes on to try to deal with the problem, the symptoms of our young people, suicide and drugs and alcohol. There is a spiritual side to it. Rising Above declares the answer is through the blood of Jesus Christ written in the Bible.
Down on my knees, I've learned to stand, 'cause I can't even walk without you holding my hand.
I lived 47 years in darkness and on my own. I thought I could do it on my own, and it just brought pain and misery.
The biggest impact on me was embracing my identity. You know, after the conference was done, I said, I feel like I could fly like an eagle. I felt such freedom and, you know, I felt so light.
More than ever, I know that there is hope for my people, for my Native people, and that the Lord is doing an incredible work. And I don't think anybody's going to stop this work because the Lord is on a roll.
Rising Above was born and continues to heed this cry that with God's help, we as Aboriginal and First Nations people can rise above and reach our God-given potential.
When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock, I go to the rock. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the